Hi everyone, I'm Andrew, and today we're talking about how to market Class B or C properties with a smaller budget. Apartment marketers at Class B or C properties face a different set of challenges compared to luxury or Class A communities. The first comes down to financial limitations. Smaller property management companies definitely have big marketing goals for their apartment communities, but typically just don't have the money to hire a full marketing department to achieve those goals. Secondly, it's hard to not get caught up in the comparison game. For whatever reason, Class B or C properties carry the stigma of being second best. And apartment marketers at those properties sometimes don't feel comfortable showcasing their units or amenities because they believe their communities aren't attractive enough to compete. Just because you're working with a smaller budget doesn't mean you have to lower your marketing expectations or provide a lesser experience for the people interested in your apartments. So with that being said, here are some ideas that will be helpful for those who are marketing Class B and C properties. First, don't compare your apartments with higher class properties. This comparison game is such an easy trap to fall into, especially for apartment marketers at Class B or C properties. It's so important to put yourself in your prospective residents' shoes. Just because your personal biases say that you'd prefer to live in a high-end, luxurious apartment community, your job as an apartment marketer is to serve those with a budget that fits the property that you work for. You're not competing with those Class A properties at all. Instead, you're trying to be the best option among similar properties, all of whom are likely facing the same challenges that you are. When your marketing efforts are focused less on winning the comparison battle and more on serving your prospective residents, you'll feel more confident about featuring your properties online. Second, invest in a website with floor plan specific content. Websites are expensive. When you're already dealing with a limited marketing budget, it sounds counterintuitive to say that you should invest a large chunk of that budget towards a website. But here's the thing, a website that lets your target audience see inside your property will pay for itself over time. Utilizing floor plan specific photography and walkthrough video tours on your website provides a great shopping experience regardless of property class. Again, forget about appearances here. You're not trying to win a beauty contest. You're trying to provide a great shopping experience for the people searching specifically for your type of community. For Class B or C properties, a website with floor plan specific media will also give you a leg up on similar properties who lack in this area. That's why most of your marketing budget should go towards a website strategically designed around floor plan specific content first. Next, deploy a targeted digital advertising strategy. Unlike Class A properties who usually have a higher digital advertising budget, Class B and C properties have to be more measured. The right approach is deploying a targeted digital ad strategy that aims to reach your apartment community's most qualified leads for the lowest possible price. We have another video on the specifics of how to build your digital ad strategy in the most cost-effective way, but in summary, you'll want to start with defensive and remarketing ads. These ads are the most affordable and effective building blocks to start with. A defensive ad targets people searching directly for your apartment community and defends your turf online against competitors who could be targeting your community with their own ads. Remarketing ads are image ads that will display to people who already visited your website as they move around the internet to different websites. A good example of this is when you're shopping for something on Amazon and you begin to notice those image ads of products that you viewed over the next several days. These are remarketing ads, and they're intended to keep your brand in front of previous website visitors. So you know when someone clicks on one of these ads, they're already fairly qualified because they've previously visited your community website. Remember, digital ads are intended to drive traffic to your website, so it makes sense to increase or decrease the advertising budget to drive traffic when it's needed and save money when it's not. This brings us to our last point. Set up lease tracking to evaluate the success of your different marketing sources. This is perhaps the most important point, and it's widely missed in our industry, or it's accomplished through non-digital methods that depend on a person's memory and have a lot of room for error. Whether you choose to use ILSs, social media, or something like Craigslist, it's really important that you set up a system that tracks where your leads and especially your leases are coming from. Obviously, if one of your sources is responsible for most of your leases, you'll want to direct most of your budget there. And conversely, if you have a source that's costing you hundreds or even thousands of dollars per month, but really is only generating a bunch of unqualified leads that don't usually turn into leases, it may be wise to look into cutting that source. The goal is to make sure you're protecting your precious marketing budget and spending money only on the most effective sources. So in conclusion, if you're marketing a Class B or C property with a limited budget, don't get caught up in the comparison game. Utilize a website that actually lets prospective residents see inside your apartments. Start with defensive and remarketing campaigns when building your digital ad strategy. And finally, make sure you're not wasting precious marketing dollars on sources that don't actually generate leases. Thanks for watching today. Hopefully it was helpful, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.